Well, here we are back at the lab. Don't worry, this place will be over soon. We need one more DNA sample, but like I said in the last part, I actually can't be sure where that is because the locations of all of them are randomized on each playthrough. And very soon we'll be finding out exactly what the deal with those is and why we need them. But for now, let's, we've already been there. Yeah, sometimes this place can get a little confusing. But it's definitely better than Pyrite Cave. So let's head back down here, and I think there's a path of this way that I haven't explored yet. Have I mentioned that I actually quite like the look of this place too? It's just kind of this cool futuristic lab look. But anyway, I haven't been down here before, and it's just a dead end leading to a full restore. That's one of the things that always annoys me whenever I'm playing an RPG with big dungeons like this. You see a split path, inevitably one of them is going to lead to a dead end with just treasure in it, but you can't be sure which one that is, and you always end up leaving that path until last, the one that's the dead end, when you should have taken it on first. But anyway, there is a researcher here, and it's quite simple, really, the answer to that question. It's that your security staff is completely incompetent and stupid. But Electrode and Electrode, I'm worried because you're probably going to explode. Yeah, anytime somebody sends out 2 Electrodes against you, you should probably be afraid, because there's a better than average chance that they will blow up in your face. That at least one of them will blow up in your face. Yeah, I'm putting one of them to sleep just to make sure that it doesn't explode. And I'm also detecting just because I'm predicting the explosion. Well, I blocked at least one. Double screech, huh? Well, at least I predicted a double target successfully, but that means I can't really detect next turn, which is the one where they're likely to use explosion or self-destruct, which is annoying. It's always annoying when you miscall self-destruct or explosion. Yeah, that one time that I'm violating sleep clause. Of course, there's no sleep clause in single-player battles, so do it. So yeah, violate it all you want. It doesn't really matter because it doesn't exist. Speaking of which, there are a lot of people who are convinced that Smogon invented sleep clause. They didn't. It's actually an official Nintendo rule. It's been in the games ever since Stadium, I believe. In fact, this game even has the option of enabling sleep clause in its, in its battle mode. In fact, I think it's on by default in... You're gonna use explosion now, aren't you? Just screech again. That's really weird. But it's always that calm before the storm feeling. You're like, okay, they are definitely gonna explode eventually. I just know it, but... they keep stalling, and then you just get paranoid, and you're like, oh, okay, I'm gonna not use Protect, because maybe you're just gonna keep using Screech, and Self-Destruct! It always happens like that. But anyway, yeah, Sleep Clause is an option in this game's battle mode. In fact, the only clauses that Smogon invented are the things like, Evasion Clause, Moody Clause, 1-hit KO Clause, and eventually Battle Pass Clause. Please don't self-destruct. Okay, well... you're probably going to be faster. And of course you use Explosion now! I should have detected, I should have used Detect. Because that wasn't even self-destruct, that was Explosion. And that means... Electrode's still pretty pathetic because it can't see, I should have used Detect, but... yeah, it can't one-shot a lot of things with Explosion. Now, if that was your last Pokemon, does that mean that Jumpluff gets, like, full experience from that? Yeah, one of the rare... moments where a Pokemon in this game gets full experience, and it's not halved because it was the only Pokemon on the field. Of course, Self-Destruct and Explosion can cause very annoying circumstances in some games where... oh, I don't think so. But in some games where nobody gets experience because everyone on the field is just gone. Okay, there's something here. I'm guessing this is the... yep, it's the last DNA sample. I thought so. And we happen to have a machine right here that can analyze it. I just passed it up completely. I think I thought that you only needed to use one of the machines. Unless past me was right, and in fact you do have to use the machine here to identify it. But anyway, actually no, this one looks a lot more significant. You probably do have to use this machine. So, let's use the DNA analyzer. So yeah, we've got a few samples of DNA. Bayleaf and Suicune. What do we have now? Oh, Entei! Hey, we got Suicune and Entei! That's actually pretty cool. We have 2 of the Pokemon on our team. So, there are 9 possible Pokemon that these DNA samples can be from, and all of them is located in a different part of the lab. Now, here's the weird thing. Out of all of the Pokemon the DNA samples can potentially be, there's only one of them that is not a Shadow Pokemon, and that's Mightyena. Whether this means there was plans for a Shadow Mightyena at some point in this game or not is uncertain, but it does feel that way. It's weird that out of all 9, there's only one Pokemon that's, again, we've walked all over security, so yeah, they tried to do their job, but failed miserably. You're gonna send out, oh, well, another Electrode, but at least it's not 2 of them. But, yeah, anyway. So, it's weird that only one of them is a Pokemon that you can't catch in this game. But anyway, I guess I should just talk about something. I haven't mentioned this yet, but I find Magneton's... I think it was like this in Stadium as well, but Magneton's 3D model is really weird, because in all of the handheld games, Magneton is always depicted as 3 Magnemites joined together. Oh no, you're going to use Rain Dance Thunder, aren't you? But in this game, it's 3 Magnemites that float around independently, but they do join together when they actually attack, so it's kind of a weird way to depict it. And I think even in the... See, look at that, like, that's what Magneton more traditionally looks like in the handheld games, but they never really implied that the 3 Magnemites were separate. Most of them implied that they were joined together permanently, but anyway, that's just a weird thing to be commenting on. I think in later games, I mean, like, the handheld 3D games, starting with X and Y, Magneton doesn't look like that. Speaking of which, I used to call it Magneton. So, yeah. Magneton, master of magnets! It's kill, you Skarmory chicken! Yeah, if anyone knows what I'm referencing, you are aware of amazingly hilarious voice acting. Random, this is completely... Oh, Ampharos, that's kind of unusual to see. But this is completely random, but if it weren't for me being, like, really worried that something like this would get me a copyright strike, I seriously considered ripping some scenes from X-Men First Class and playing some of the voice acting from that over it. The bit where he says, I prefer Magneto, I'd cut that and replace it with, I prefer Magneto, master of magnets! Anyway. I call it, like, X-Chickens First Class. But, like I said, I will probably never do that because I would get copyright striked big time. But anyway, this guy can actually be pretty dangerous because Thunder, yeah, as you can see, Umbreon just, I think, got 2-shotted. Thunder with perfect accuracy hits very, very hard, as you no doubt can tell. And I probably don't want to send Suicune. Please tell me. See, the good thing is that I will have the benefit of Rain, and I could potentially try and go for Rain Dance Surfs, but if I don't KO everything, I'm going to be taking a lot of Thunders, and that's not good. You're gonna... Okay, I'm glad for that, because that probably would have been another Thunder. We'll see. Actually, now that I think about it, why did I send out Dan Green? Why did I send him out? He, I should have used Sunny Day to get rid of the... Rain. Why didn't I do that and disrupt their Thunders? Because I think Thunder only has 90... Not... That's... I think Thunder only has 50% accuracy in Sun. Pokemon here are giving a lot of experience, though. Stomp. Now, as sad as this seems, this is actually one of the better physical moves that Entei learns by level up in this generation. It's really sad, but it's kind of true. I'm actually going to need to use... I feel like I should have kept Light, but anyway. Probably would have gotten rid of Leer if I was doing this in the present, but remember how I said in an earlier episode that some Pokemon can KO things even through rain? Yeah. With fire moves, I mean. Jumpluff levels up off screen. And that guy's down, but I'm definitely going to need to heal. That was really bad. All of your Pokemon are gone. What's the worst that you can do? Like, flail your arms out at us or something? Or press that button. Oh no! What have you done? You've killed the amazing music! No! Now, this is kind of weird. I believe I'm going to prove this guy wrong right now. So, he's activated an alarm, and now the amazing music is gone, and instead we have this really annoying alarm sound that lasts for the entire remainder of the dungeon. Yeah. Or at least the... Yeah, it lasts for the entire dungeon. And it's really irritating. So I believe, like I said, I'm about to prove him wrong. Yeah, we can just walk right out of here. I don't know why he says that there's no leaving the lab for you, because we can completely leave the lab. And in fact, well, at least the awesome music survives here. So I'm gonna go ahead and do a makeshift heal here. So now let's just walk right back into the place that's on a state of high alert. It's really bizarre the way this alarm is handled, and it's actually kind of pointless. It doesn't change much in the dungeon itself, so I really don't know why it exists. It's just really annoying. I mean, I guess it kind of adds to the atmosphere, but... Anyway, also I apologize if it's very hard to see things in this video, because my capture device from back in 2012 was notoriously bad at recording dark areas, so yeah, you might find it hard to see a bit in these videos, and I'm sorry for that. Anyway, let's quickly get back to where we were. Is this annoying you yet? Because it sure is annoying me. We can't press that switch to turn the alarm off, and we're not stuck. What are you saying? So if we go up here, we have a ceiling peon. And here's something funny. It was a really good thing that you heard the alarm and came running, because, if we see, she has a Vibrava and a Kadabra. Actually, a pretty interesting team. Kinda wish you got a Shadow Kadabra in this game, but... Actually, wait, why would you need that? You have Espeon. I haven't used Suicune for a while. But anyway... To the rejoicing of many people, that Vibrava is a Shadow Pokemon. I know a lot of people love Flygon, so I bet many people are happy to see this. But first, let's just deal with these two. I think I'm about to show something kind of silly, because I get the feeling that I might be able to one-shot that Kadabra, even with not very effective. I know that in, I have super effective Gust, potentially. I know that in Gen 6 competitive battle, I once one-shotted an Alakazam with Hammer Arm on the switch-in. That was from a Pangoro, but yeah, that was pretty funny. Or I could just switch Kick Face out. Kind of wanted to try for the not very effective thing, but anyway. Roleplay! Okay, let's not status you then. Yeah, this Vibrava's just gonna sit here and use Shadow Rush. It's actually kind of annoying because it can paralyze you with Dragon Breath, so watch out for that. Synchronize should hopefully not be that big of a threat to me. I was kind of worried about Surf against the Vibrava, I think, but it's probably not going to do that much. Vibrava is already part Dragon type, so it's not super effective on it. Yeah, I kind of want to finish that Kadabra off, though. Roleplay is kind of a useless move. You're really better off using a Pokemon with Trace if you want to copy abilities. And here's Suicune's amazing tanking prowess in action. And here's Vibrava's amazing, irritating Dragon Breath in action. You're probably going to paralyze, aren't you? Because Dragon Breath seems to almost always paralyze. Yes, you did, but thankfully that makes you easier to catch, because I get the paralysis off on you. And that's one of the few ways that I can paralyze you other than Glare, because you're a ground type, so immune to most electric moves. But yeah, Dragon Breath I think only has a 30% chance of paralysis, but it still just feels like it paralyzes way more than it should. And Kadabra's fainting animation, go! I love that animation so much. It's definitely one of my favorites, if not my actual favorite fainting animation. Although you'll be seeing Kecleon's later, and Kecleon's is pretty good too. Swellow! Okay then. Yeah, we saw an area leader in Mount Battle use Swellow earlier, but if you skip that video, which I don't really blame you for, it's not really related to the main story, this is probably the first time you're seeing Swellow? I forget. Yeah, I guess I can just go straight for the snack on Vibrava now. Let's see what I should probably set up Rain Dance. Gust is going to be kind of stupid unless that Swallow tries to use Fly, because Gust can hit Pokemon that are flying. I don't know if it doubles in power or not, but, I mean, it's pretty weak anyway. 1, 2, 3. Vibrava get! First ball. Wow, dragons are supposed to be hard to catch. Vibrava and Flygon might be fan-favourite Pokemon, but how do they fare in this game? Actually, pretty well. The second dragon type you have access to after Altaria, Vibrava will evolve into Flygon only 2 levels after catching it, avoiding the problem many dragon types in the series have of evolving late. Upon evolution, Flygon has good stats in attack and speed, and balanced stats in everything else. One downside is that Flygon doesn't learn very many physical moves in this generation. It does make a fairly decent mixed sweeper though, especially during single player. But Earthquake is really the one physical move that you need. Flygon is one of the best Pokemon to teach your Earthquake TM to in this game, and coincidentally, we're getting the Earthquake TM very, very soon. You might want to have a flying type partner or one that has Protect whenever you're using it though. Weirdly enough, of its starting move, Screech is really the main useful one. Hitting something with Screech and following up with Earthquake is going to do a lot of damage, especially since AI opponents almost never switch. You could also go for Sandstorm on it, but unless a lot of your team is Ground, Rock, or Steel, you're going to be hurting yourself a lot with that too. You also have the amazing Levitate ability, which is especially useful considering a boss fight that's coming up kind of soon. So even though Vibrava comes quite late into the game, it's an excellent choice if you want to make any last-minute team additions. And it helps that Flygon's main competition, Garchomp, isn't around in Gen 3. Oh! Okay, that was totally unintentional! I thought that the first time we'd be seeing Kecleon was the Under Colosseum, but no! I can't believe that! She actually had a Kecleon! Complete coincidence. I don't know that. I don't have any words for that. That's a complete coincidence. But hey, this trainer has 2 of my favorite fainting animations in one battle. Also Swellow. Who I feel like in this game, Swellow's wings just are a bit too small. I feel like they should be a bit bigger. But anyway. Okay, you're not a water type. That's not really all that good. Yeah, that is the gimmick with Kecleon. It will change types anytime it gets hit by something. But that means that you don't have same type attack bonus on strength anymore. Haha! Yeah, Kecleon is kind of a joke Pokemon in a lot of ways. It's not terrible, but it's more of a gimmick than anything else. Also, it's kind of funny if you use a Dragon or Ghost move on it. Well, actually, you can't use a Ghost move on it unless you turn it into a different type first, because it starts out as normal. But Dragon, though, Dragon is pretty funny. I forget if this is true. I seem to remember at one point that... I mainly did that just to change its type, by the way. But yeah, I seem to remember that Kecleon actually did learn... I don't know if this is true or not, but did it learn Skill Swap? Because I seem to remember a joke moveset that involves Skill Swapping Color Change onto the opponent and then spamming Shadow Ball. So you're now a Dark type! Well, at least Surf is going to be neutrally effective against you now. And these are the only 2 Pokemon she has left. Unfortunately, Surf is probably going to miss that Swellow because it's probably faster than Suicune. It's kind of interesting how in later generations, Swellow got an insane buff to its special attack, which actually made Boom Burst a lot more viable on it. Although Boom Burst Tailo was admittedly kind of broken in the early game of Auras. If you're willing to actually spam the... Dex Nav, that's it, Dex Nav. Speaking of which, I love Dex Nav. I wish Dex Nav came back in Gen 7. Dex Nav was one of my favorite new additions in the entire series. It was just, I love Dex Nav so much, and then it wasn't really in Sun or Moon. But at least they kinda brought back the habitat list, which I also liked. Anyway, though, I think we're approaching being able to see Kecleon's hilarious fainting animation. I know I built it up, it's probably not as funny as I remember it being, now that I've built it up so much, but anyway, let's see. Still can't believe that she actually had a Kecleon, because, didn't expect that at all. Anyway. Oh, okay, that's not what I built it up to be at all. I think it was Kecleon's damage animation that I thought was funny. Why does everyone call this guy a little boy? It's weird. Again, he is the oldest known Pokemon protagonist at this point. But anyway, I believe this door is what we need the DNA samples. Oh, great, I'm probably going to have to go back and heal, aren't I? Anyway, these weird bubbly things, they're not what we need. It's this keypad over here. In fact, we can see a familiar face right behind that door if we look closely enough. So, this lock. We need to enter the Pokemon that we got DNA samples from. As you can see, Mightyena is the only Pokemon here that's not a Shadow Pokemon, so I don't know why it's here. Again, there was maybe potentially... I think I'm drawing attention to it right now, but yeah, there was maybe a Shadow Mightyena plan for this game. But anyway, that's what the DNA samples are for. And, yep, it's Skrub. So, let's wreck the edgy Skrub Lord once again. I like how he does have a unique design when it comes to Cypher Peons. He probably shouldn't even be a Peon, but hey, your Wynota's evolved. That's impressive. Don't know if your Clamperl has a deep sea tooth now. It'd be kind of cool if it did, but probably doesn't. Yeah, this guy's kind of like he's sort of halfway between Grunt and Admin, because he's a recurring antagonist, and he's actually a pretty tough fight, but he's technically still a Peon. And I say Grunt instead of Peon. The terms are pretty much interchangeable. I do admit that I didn't know what the term Peon meant when I first played this game. So when I fought the Mirror B Peons, I thought it was like Mirror B Peon. That was like some kind of weird, classification or something. Mirror B Peon. Graveler. Pretty sure you had a Geodude last time. Okay, good. You used the wrong counter. That's kind of something that you have to bank on when you're dealing with Wobbuffet, is that they use the wrong counter move. Although I didn't attack it at all. So I'm going to pull off the same strategy that I did last time and simply ignore the Wobbuffet until it's the only thing left, because, like I said in Skrub's earlier fight, if you don't hurt it, it can't hurt you. Of course, if this guy was actually smart and had Encore on it, then I probably would try and take it out. Oh, wow, okay, it's time for a Medicham Mirror match. That is actually pretty funny. Once again, we can just completely focus down on it. Oh yeah, by the way, this Medicham. Skrub will not always have this Medicham. This is actually the replacement for his Shadow Hitmontop. So, if you didn't snag Hitmontop earlier, you'll get a second chance to snag it here. That's why I said that really? And that's gonna hurt coming from a Medicham. Please don't paralyze. Oh, of course you would paralyze. Yeah, I thought it... Well, hey, Synchronize, that's not bad. Synchronize has actually done quite a lot for me this playthrough. Yeah, I knew it was Paralysis because, you know, this is... I really don't know what to do with Soul at this point. But yeah, this is an indoor area where Secret Power usually paralyzes. But yeah, that's why I said back in the first Skrub fight that if you fail to snag Hitmontop there, you do get another chance not that far into the game. Because this is one of the few refights against a trainer with a Shadow Pokemon that is required, so you'll always have at least 2 chances to snag Hitmontop. Huh. Hey, Carmine's actually being useful for once. It's really a shame that Medicham of all things got given Carmine, because it's not the best user of the move, but the Carmine TM isn't in this game, and I really wish it was, because Suicune or Espeon would make great use of it, but, I mean, Suicune technically does learn Carmine eventually, but it's at level 81, and at that level you'd already steamroll everything in the main story anyway, so there's no point in getting that high. Uh-oh, please don't counter Espeon. Well, I guess you're obsessed with using Mirror Code at this point. Admittedly, Wobbuffet does have a bit of a disadvantage in double battles. It's that if, let's say, both opponents target it with physical moves and it uses counter, it's, I think, random which one it hits. Either that or it only hits the last one who attacked it. But yes, you Skrub, you have been humiliated twice. You truly are a Skrub. And he just he was so humiliated that he just vanished from existence entirely. That's actually kind of dark. But anyway, I'm going to go back and heal now. Because down those stairs is the end of this area and our final boss for the Shadow Pokemon Lab. And I think you probably know who it is. But yeah, I think I'll just take this time to mention something. I really like the I really like the DNA sample gimmick in this place. I know that a lot of dungeon RPGs use randomized passwords, but often it's just randomizing the password, which means all you need to do is just memorize every combination that it could possibly be, and then just try them all. It was like that in Black and White too. You had the Plasma Frigate, where the password was randomized, but it was 1 out of 4 things, so once you knew all 4 of them, you could just enter all of them until you get it right. But here, not only do they randomize the password, it's also quite hard to guess a password that has 3 out of 9. It's like, pick 3 out of 9. I know there's a mathematical formula for the number of possible combinations there, but anyway. But they also randomize where you find all of the clues to the password, and I think you actually do need all the DNA samples in order to use that door. But anyway, it's kind of cool how they randomize the locations of them, but, like, not truly randomized in that there are always 9 fixed locations they could be at, but at any given playthrough you only see 3 of them. It's kind of cool and adds a lot of replay value and makes every playthrough of this dungeon unique, so it's something that I actually do quite like. But anyway, here I'm going to be using the makeshift healing machine, because next time, like I said, we will be fighting the boss of this area. You probably want to restock your snag balls too, because, as you can probably guess, it's going to be a Cypher admin, and you know what Cypher admins tend to have at this point. So, for now, I'll just be healing my team, and I will see you next time for... Once again, you can probably guess who it is we'll be fighting, but I'll leave you in suspense until then. So, see you next time. Oh yeah, you also probably want to save now.